I'm going to resist the urge to gloat.
Okay.
Just kidding. There were people around this table, their names rhyme with Messica, who said that the tariffs were going to increase inflation in a massive way. They haven't. They said this trade war was going to align the world against the United States. It was going to be China and the world aligned against the United States. That didn't happen. It was the exact opposite. They said that he was a taco president, and it looked like the world chickened out. And I remember you said you can't win a trade war. No one wins a trade war. Well,
Jesse Waters on Fox News calmly handed Jessica Tarlov a plate of crow after Trump's EU trade deal crushed every prediction from the professional liberal fearmongers in media and government. And it looks like the media got caught flat-footed again, this time over Trump's massive EU trade win because once again their smug experts mocked his tariffs, swore they'd backfire, and now they're scrambling to rewrite history. Here's CBS's Margaret Brennan smugly scoffing at Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick-Wright before the deal landed and blew up her entire narrative.
If we get into a trade war as retaliation by them.
They're not going to do it.
You just met with the European trade negotiator. He came out kind of downbeat. You disagree? You think we are going to get a deal with the European Union?
You know, I was on the phone with the European trade negotiators this morning, about a half hour ago. So there's plenty of room. Look, the president and the European Union, these are the two biggest trading partners in the world talking to each other. We'll get a deal done. I am confident we'll get a deal done.
Is that August 1st deadline with the EU a hard deadline? Are you going to get a deal since you were just on the phone?
Going to see the best set of trade deals you've ever seen for America and for the American people.
Let's talk about the new trade deal with the European Union with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick.
The European Union is going to pay 15%, and they sell us $600 billion worth of goods. That's $90 billion for America, and they agreed for the first time ever to cut all their tariffs, cut their barriers, and let American businesses and farmers and ranchers and fishermen finally sell into the European Union. Massive market. This is huge for...
It's amazing how quickly things can change in a week. You know, Brennan was practically laughing in Lutnick's face, like the idea of Trump landing a big trade deal with the EU was some wild MAGA fantasy, when the real fantasy is these hacks in establishment media believing they're the smartest person in the room. The media laughed. Europe panicked, and America won. And where's Brennan now? Probably thinking of new ways to downplay this achievement and use it against Trump, because people like her seem to be completely incapable of introspection or accountability. Here's Jesse Waters breaking it down for Jessica Tarlov, who shockingly isn't handling it much better.
We didn't give up anything with any of these negotiations with the Pacific Rim companies or the EU. We got every single country to open up their market. Every single one. So in a way, Trump actually increased free trade for us. And what else did he do? He also got other countries to agree to invest trillions of dollars here. That is a huge win for the defense industry, for ranchers, farmers, pharmaceuticals. We'll get to that tomorrow. There's a big announcement there. Boeing won big. And the fact that now everybody has to invest here in these big industrial projects, and we left the steel tariffs at 50, they have to use U.S. steel because it's so much cheaper. And the 15% thing is great because it's small enough where the importers here will eat the tariff and not pass on the price hike. But it's big enough, because that's what they're already doing, but it's big enough to make U.S. industry more competitive and bring in a lot of tariff revenue, which we can use to pay down the debt and send out tariff stimmy checks. So the Democrats today are not attacking this deal, are they? And the free traders over at the Panikin networks, CNBC, are not attacking this deal. They're saying it's a great deal. The Europeans are the ones who said that they got screwed and that they basically got dominated by Donald Trump. It is a victory for the United States, Jessica.
Is this a fantastic deal then struck by Donald Trump and just terrible negotiation on the part of the EU? I mean, how do you...
I think that's an accurate assessment. I mean, to me, this is a humiliating capitulation on behalf of the EU, and it really calls into question this amazing negotiating strength, this leverage that the EU is supposed to exert as a superpower on world affairs. It really makes you wonder, what is it actually doing for its member states if the UK can on its own get a better deal than this giant economy. So I think it's a real failure on the part of the European Commission in negotiating here. And obviously, it's better than not having any deal at all at 30% or something. But this is really a wasted opportunity, I think, for the EU, and absolutely a victory on behalf of the Trump administration.
This is part of Trump's real crusade to redress what he perceives to be imbalances, unfairness towards America from US trading partners. Just to give you one example, the EU, he has that really has been in Trump's crosshairs for quite a while now. He has referred to the EU as being designed to screw the US, and he's called out tariffs, but also the non-tariff barriers that the EU places on the US, like a digital service tax, for example. So the bigger picture is that Trump is still very much pursuing his longer-term goal of achieving what he perceives to be fairness for America.
Even CNN is starting to tiptoe around the truth, quietly admitting this was a massive win for the U.S. On top of that, critics like Bill Maher are backpedaling. And Jim Cramer, who said he felt like a sucker for trusting Trump, is now dropping F-bombs on air while praising his economy. That's how undeniable this is. And now the EU's in full panic mode, proving Trump didn't just win the deal for America, he destroyed the facade of the entire international ruling class. This is what America first looks like, forcing the world to play fair instead of letting unelected bureaucrats in Brussels run the show. The bloc's falling apart. And Trump didn't just win the deal, he cracked the entire centralized power structure wide open. That's why the establishment hates him, because he keeps proving that real strength comes from sovereign nations, not from backroom deals and bureaucratic groupthink. But let me know what you think. Should the media be forced to admit they were wrong about Trump's tariffs? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Thanks for watching.